Hello and welcome. Today I will be restoring, repairing, assessing this Boots MCR 765 tape recorder, radio cassette thing. Now I bought this at a car boot sale today for the lowly sum of £2. But the condition of it is you can just see it's absolutely pristine, you know. So this was clearly used in a shed at some point because of all the dust on it and the paint. It's just quite dirty in general, really. So I'll be cleaning that up today through probably a time lapse. And I've just got this home. I've not tested it, not done anything. This is exactly how I bought it. Now I'm just looking at it now. This antenna's a bit bent, but I don't have a replacement, so let's just hope that works. Like, comes out. I mean, it's stiff, like quite stiff. Oh, goodness. But I'm going to leave that because I don't have a replacement. And yeah, let's see if it works. I've got a power lead here. Oh, let's check the battery compartment. Ooh. The original owner left as a surprise. That'll be fun to keep one of these for my battery collection. These look quite old. They've got the old Panasonic Apple logo. Anyway, enough about the batteries. Battery compartment has a serial number sticker. Can I read that? It almost certainly won't show up on camera. 60907992. So not particularly low, but I'm pretty well aware that they just made a load of these for cheap. This is not high fidelity by any stretch of the imagination. Let's plug it in and see if it works, because the battery compartment has a bit of corrosion, which I will be fixing. Is that going to go in? Yes, brilliant. Okay, the volume is at minimum, and my plug is turned on. My plug is not turned on. Now it's on. Okay, what do we have? Let's turn the volume up. It's on long wave currently, which means nothing, because it's not brilliant here. FM.
The best variety from the 80s to now. This is Magic Radio.
Magic Radio. It's quite grainy.
Take time to think.
It burns when I pee. Is right around the corner. She rushes.
Enough of that. It seems to work, which is very good, actually. That is the radio, at least. I'll put the collapse the really stiff antenna. And I have a tape here that's just... This is actually my very first cassette tape. It was in an old radio I had. It was in like a Sony something or other. It's just a modern 2010 sort of thing. Now the capstan is spinning, but you can stop it quite easily. The take-up reel is strong enough, so I'm going to risk putting this tape in and see what we get. Radio's still on. Okay. The tape is refusing to move. On closer inspection, this tuner has a red dial, sort of like that. This speaker looks a lot bigger than it actually is. You can see the real speaker on the side is quite small. Not particularly big, but the sounds I heard from it first time were alright. They were better than that Iowa stereo radio. They had more bass. Okay, all the screws have been taken out. Now I've just got to get this off. Now usually, yes, good. Usually the fronts of these will come off, not the back. Yeah, see the back's all one piece, and then there's just this other front panel that goes on top of that. Nice. Okay. How easy is this going to be? Oh, there we go. Oh gosh. Oh dear. No, that's going to be fun. Okay, I just moved all these screws off to the side. There's 6 of them. Well, isn't this interesting? Oh, it's a speaker. Okay, I don't want to yank the speaker out or break anything. Oh, good. Mabuchi motor. That's probably a fake. I don't know how to tell. And that is the speed adjustment for it. So if this deck plays at the wrong speed, then I can fix it. Now these gears are good because I had one of these. I had a boombox, and these sort of yellowy plastic gears, like the one here, just absolutely turned into mush. It is weak, but it's not quite worth replacing yet, so I'll leave it. Let's see, do these speakers come out? Yes, they do. Oh, that is brilliant. I've had a lot of times where these are just directly soldered on, which would be a huge pain. But there we go, speakers out. I can take this fully off now. I'll put that to a side because it's not currently relevant. Alright. Now the fun really begins. This winding, this is how the tuner works. It's all very cheap and cheerful. As you can see, everything's plastic here. The AM antenna looks really weak. Like, that could be broken very, very easily. And that's the switch which gives us issues. That's the switch that tells this whether it's recording or whether it's playing. And it has loads of tiny contacts on the inside. If you've seen a Mend It Mark video, you've probably seen the inside of one of these, if he's doing a tape recorder or something, because they always go bad. Hopefully mine's alright though. That's this corner here for the motor, so I'll take that out. Brilliant, this is now free to move, and hopefully I can prise this out. What was that? I heard a spring. I'm assuming it was this. I'm hoping it was that. Now this is a mono head because it's got one speaker, and I think they should have still done stereo heads. I'm not quite sure how mono works, but here's the mechanism. Here's the tape. Here's the belts, actually. Goodness me, I can't speak today. The clutch system, which it's good it has one, and the motor. Okay. Yeah, you see, there's your problem. I'm spinning this, but the motor spindle is not spinning, suggesting there is very, very little grip on this belt. Like, see that? It's not doing anything. I've got to make it out. I've got to pull it here for it to do anything. If I put it here, it just slips. And then if I put it here, it works. So there's clearly, this belt's clearly loose. It takes a medium amount of force to pull that out. So luckily it's not dissolved into grease like some of the Sony ones do from the 90s. They're a pain, aren't they? Okay, the belt's brilliant. And the smaller belt for the clutch mechanism. See if I can get that out. Okay, there's a tiny little thing that's stopping that, but can probably work around it. There we go, got it, brilliant. There's a split washer keeping this capstan on, which I like to see. This one's alright, but it's absolutely got no grip. It's just slipping between my fingers so easily. Let's have a look if there's a date on this motor, because that would be very good. Now, how old this thing might be, I looked it up on Radio Museum, because that place is just brilliant, isn't it? Online, and it said 1987 question mark. I believe that could be true, but I think it might be a little older. Okay. 8601. I believe that could be a date code. So January 1986, that's my guess when this motor was made, which would align with the 1987 date on Radio Museum. So I'm just going to stick with what's Radio Museum is saying, and 1987 is what I believe this to be. The radios seem to work, so all the amplification circuits must work, which is good because I don't have to do anything here. So I'll do a belt replacement. I'll get some belts off camera and be back. I am back for the second time with some belts that hopefully fit this time. Let's get that on. There's a small thing that's making it a bit of a pain, and I think it's on now. What'll slip first? If it isn't the clutch, then the clutch is just stiff. Hey, the clutch is slipping. But is there too much tension in this belt? Perhaps. Perhaps it is a little tight. I'm not sure though. We'll put this one on. That's got a reasonable stretch length. That's perfectly good. The other belt I think will be fine. I don't think it'll throw anything off too much. Actually, I think it will. You've got to be quite careful with these mechanisms. What is going on? Okay, so something has happened where this part is sprung off and is now rubbing against the capstan for some reason. I must have knocked it when I was trying to get the belt off. So, not all repairs go smoothly. What I'm going to have to do now is take the split washer off the front of the capstan. Okay, I finally managed to get that split washer off. That was a bigger pain than you'd imagine. It took like 5 minutes. Okay, there it is. It's on there. And there's another washer beneath it. Not split. Okay. I can turn this back over and fix whatever was going on there. Okay. There's the belt that was too tight. And here was the problem. Now I'm going to see if I can just push that back in. No. This is for the pause mechanism. It's what makes the pause mechanism click in place. No, it doesn't appear to be working. I'll inspect it up close and see if it's broken. It might be broken. I'm not quite sure. Oh, hello. That was something. I'll tell you what, I know what's happened. This little black bit it rests on, this can clip into. But this is cracked, so it doesn't clip into it anymore. So I think that a carefully positioned drop of super glue could get the job done. Now, don't do this if you don't know absolutely for certain that it's going to be fine. Because super glue sometimes, depending on what brand, is super runny. It gets absolutely everywhere and it can just lock up the entire mechanism and break everything. I'll see if it works without the spring, because it's going to help if I don't need the spring. You can see how that mechanism works. It's sort of like how a clicky pen goes out the tip and then goes back in with 2 presses. That's exactly how this mechanism works here. I'm going to take the spring off. That was easy to take out. So spring's off. I'm going to put that back down. And you can see it definitely needs a spring. I'm going to put some super glue inside of here. Put the thing back on and just press that down for a while. Yeah, I broke it because I was trying to get the belt off and I sort of went under it and pulled it up with the belt. This stuff isn't super runny. Sort of like stays in a blob. It's got some viscosity to it, which is good because I don't want this getting everywhere. That would be very bad. And put the glue in there. All right, it's in. I can feel the warmth of it setting already. I'll put the spring around it. And I'll put it into this. Now it might glue them 2 pieces together, but if it's at the right sort of angle, it should be fine. Now I can press it down. I'll just stay here And I'll leave this here until it sets. That right there, what you saw, was one of the dangers of super glue. It sort of locked it in place and it wasn't sort of working properly because this couldn't rotate freely anymore. That's one of the dangers, it just locks everything up, but luckily it works. It works well enough now. I'll get the capstan back in. Let's see. Like, that is precision fit. So cool. Let's put the first washer on first. This is one of the more satisfying moments, when stuff isn't being a right pain. And you can see there's good clearance between the capstan and that little white thing, even when there's a bit of give in the capstan, but that's still not touching. So I think I just got away with that, which is good. Anyway, I'll find a replacement for this belt, which hopefully will work this time, third time, and I'll be back. Alright, I've got this belt. It will work. Carefully get that over there without tugging on it. Brilliant. Now I can put it over there. Then put this one on. And after the whole kerfuffle, it finally works. I'll double check that that hole actually goes through to a potentiometer. Does it go through to a potentiometer? Big reveal. Yes, it does. Oh, great. This can play at the right speed. And we do have a permanent erase magnet, unfortunately, so you're never going to get brilliant recordings. I'll now put the screw back in here. Yeah, the condition of this is mint. I need to sort out these contacts because there's two of them that aren't particularly brilliant. This will be difficult though, because I don't know how I'm going to get them out. But I'll get these out, hopefully, put them in vinegar. I might have to do that completely off camera because I don't have a setup that can record my bench and I have to potentially solder. I need to get both of the springs off because that's where the corrosion is, and there's a spring at the bottom here. That connects to that black wire. Oh, that's cool. So this lifts up and outwards. So plan of action, bring these two contacts which are connected together upwards and bring this one, desolder it from the back and bring this upwards because these two springs are where the corrosion's at. I am back with that being done. Here were the offending contacts. This one's got green corrosion on it. And this one has a tiny bit of rust at the top of it. Really not a lot, but I thought I'd still put them in the vinegar. Any reaction with that? There's a tiny bit of fizzing, but it's not enough to be exciting. Sometimes it's like baking powder and vinegar, which is really exciting when that happens. I'll leave that on, the lid on. Just put that to a side for 10 minutes. I've now got the back of this radio. Now the serial, this, is coming off and it's dirty. So I can solve the dirty problem right now. I've got a wet wipe. For the issue of the label coming up, I will go back to school and use a Pritt stick. And that's the serial number stuck down properly again. And that compartment is mostly cleaned. Let's have a look at the vinegar. It's not been too long. Like 6-7 minutes. The rust is just coming off when I scratch it. That's what some of the contacts look like. Now, luckily, most of the corrosion happened between the batteries. Alright, that's nearly there. These contacts are still pristine. I just got added rust. It'll come off a lot easier if I use a Q-tip. This one's nearly good. And I'm going to call it a day there. I could spend hours perfecting everything, but I'm not going to. That's the positive terminal, so the negative terminal would face down. Yes, that's right. Let's get a screwdriver to push that in. If you're wondering about my filming setup, and wondering why there's wooden legs in the corner, it's because I've got a step ladder. There's an entire like frame around here, then there's a bit of a stool here, and it's got like a grip handle that the camera's looking through. Like, I'm knocking on wood here, and then this is the camera. So that's my filming setup. So I just got a camera pointing through the hole in the grip hole in a step ladder down, and it seems to be all right. And now I can't do anything too big, and I'm hoping to get some sort of camera holder, so I'll be able to improve the quality of the videos. But yeah, time to get the next terminal in. Yeah, there's the hole. It's quite clever how that slots in the hole. Now I can push that down. There we go. Perfect. Lovely. Battery compartment complete. Ish, I still need to clean this. Do that later. This is in good nick. I always like these. You never find these on anything modern. Like, you put the batteries in over this, then you pull this up to get the batteries out. It's really clever. Anyway, back to the radio itself now. The battery contacts are done. I'll resolder this quickly. Great, that's been resoldered. I like how this handle just goes down there, and then it's perfectly convenient for standing up at an angle so I can see it and the camera can still see it. Brilliant. By the way, if anyone's wondering, this is an iPhone 8 camera, so if it's not the best quality, I think it's personally alright for the video. If it's not the best quality, that'd be why. It's not very modern. Nothing I have really is, which is good because I like old things, if you couldn't tell. I'll plug it into the mains. I'll definitely not touch anything, and I'll test it. Okay, here we go. If you're seeing this, I didn't die from electrocution. Will it work? Yep, the capstan's got good force on it. This is going round. Yeah, all seems to be in order. Okay, I'll now clean stuff with isopropyl alcohol. Clean the capstan, pinch roller, and the head. Look at that, it's filthy. Which means it was well used, which means it worked well. So that's the fact that this is dirty is a good sign. Alright, let's just check fast forward and rewind work. Yeah, it's fast forward. Yeah, it's rewind. Adequate. Adequate. What's that do? Oh, it's stop eject. That's pause. Definitely works perfectly fine, no issues, definitely not. It sometimes sticks, but I don't care enough to fix that. Play. Auto stop. Yeah. You see how that works? The tape's going through here, just imagine. It's going through there, getting spooled up. It's lifting this up a bit as it goes past the head. But when this stops, because it's at the end, it can't possibly go anymore, the tape gets pulled taut, so it lifts this up, which then moves this down, latches onto something on this gear, like a little thing that comes and takes it. And and then that just has the same effect as pushing stop. That. Pretty cool. That's all in. Great. I'm a bit scared, frankly. Just a little bit. Tape mode on. I trust this enough to put a good tape in it, so I'll quickly get a tape. I've quickly acquired a tape. Let's see if this works. What's the volume like? I do not want this to chew up this tape, but I don't think it will. That's West End Girls. Hopefully that didn't content match. And yeah, that was alright actually. So there's no need for anything too drastic. I'll just put a bit of isopropyl alcohol in that so it's not crackly at all. Okay, I've got a syringe with a bit of isopropyl alcohol in it. If I put it in there at the top, it'll run down because this stuff is incredibly not viscous. It's really runny. Okay, let's now work that backwards and forwards. I'll put a little bit more in. And work it a little bit more. I'm going to take this off because I want to clean everything and stuff. What causes this door to spring open? Let's have a look. This bit of bent metal is bent into the funkiest shape ever. You see that? That's what causes the door to open. That looks so bodge. You see this? This is sort of broken. I'm going to re-glue that. I've got the all-purpose Boss Stick glue. This speaker is actually pathetic. It's supposed to be that big and it's this big. It's the definition of cheap. I mean high fidelity, of course. The problem I have with this Boss Stick glue is that just this metal in it holds some tension, holds some elasticity, so when you take the lid off it squeezes some out for you, which depending on how much it squeezes can be a help or a pain. Like that was a help. Look, got the perfect amount of glue. Okay, that's in place now, which will lead to a softer eject. Now my attention focuses to cosmetics. I want to make this look a lot better than it does, so I'll do a bit of a cleaning time lapse for this. I'll be using wet wipes, cotton buds, and I'll show you something that's not dodgy whatsoever. A silver Sharpie. You see there's lots of scratches here. Just sort of colour over them. And it helps. I don't really know of an alternative, so for now this is going to be what's going to be done. It looks a lot better than it would with the black marks, in my opinion, so that's what I'll do for it, and now I'll do a bit of a cleaning montage. Okay, that's all I'm going to do to this front piece. I will be doing this, but that's later. I've discovered a sort of a technique, so you use the pen on it, then you sort of rub it with a wet Q-tip, so it gets rid of the mostly obvious stuff and just leaves the stuff in the hole so it looks more natural and original. Okay, that's all I'm going to do to the door. I'm not going to bother putting anything else on. This glass is just scratched. I'll have to get over that. Time to put the door back on. Let's see. So usually how these doors work is you've got these clips here, can you see them? That you can sort of bend in. One at a time. No, both at a time. Ah, got it. Yes, yes, got it. Oh, brilliant. I forgot to clean that part of the door. What am I like? Okay, the door's in successfully now. And I'm happy enough with the front of this. Let's roll the main issue in then. Oh my goodness, this is worse than I remember. Okay, this is going to be satisfying. Just move that out of the way. I will clean this bit in one time lapse, which starts now. Okay, brilliant. That's much better. I'm quite happy with how that turned out. It was easier than I thought because most of the paint was highly soluble in water, which made it easy. And there's a few paint speckles, but I think that gives it character. Now I'll turn my attention to this antenna. It's quite dirty. Do a short time lapse of cleaning it. I'll now clean the entire rest of it in one final time lapse. That is where I'm going to leave this cleaning off, because I don't think making this any cleaner would really benefit me too much, so I'm not going to. I'm now going to do the azimuth adjustment and the speed adjustment off camera because I need to do it to a pre-recorded tape, which I know is good, so I can't do it or else they flag me for copyright or something like that. Anyway, how I do the speed adjustment is I put a song on, play another version on my laptop, which is the same song, play them at the same time, and see if this is playing slow or fast, and then get this specific screwdriver with a very tiny tip. It's very nice. I got it from Target, I think, in America when I was there. It was brilliant. I love America. And adjust it, whether it's slow or fast. And the azimuth, I'm looking for highest fidelity on here when I adjust that. See you when that's done. Well, that was a brilliant success. Not sarcastic, that was genuinely brilliant. So it was already right. So remember when I was seeing if there was adjuster in there, I moved it a little bit, then I moved it back. When that was set in position, it was spot on, you know? It moved maybe 1 second over 2 minutes, which is less than 1% slow, which I can't possibly tune any better than that. But yeah, that was the shortest tuning session, and the azimuth was fine as well. So that is brilliant. I don't see that there's anything else left to do other than test it. I'm going to test the recording feature. I'll test the recording feature and the mic all at once because I have these tapes that I just got from a big lot. I've got loads of them. So I've already been recorded on and stuff from the previous owner in 81, I think. And now I can re-record over them. They're TDK D90s. There's one D60, but yeah. Let's see. Let's get to recording. Alright, this should be recording. So I'm testing the recording. I'm tapping on the mic now. You'll probably be able to hear that when I replay this. Anyway, I really hope you can hear this when I play it back. So I'm just making this recording long enough so as to when I rewind it, I don't go past it by miles. Yeah, I'm just hoping I can hear my voice really, and just hoping that switch works, because if that switch is dodgy, I'm going to be fairly unhappy. Oops, drop the front of it. Okay. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm just hoping I can hear my voice really, and just hoping that switch works, because if that switch is dodgy, I'm going to be fairly unhappy. Oops, drop the front of it. Okay. And there's some music that I've got no clue what it was. Might as well play you some of that music, because I think 3 seconds is long enough, right? Yeah. You ready? Yeah, that sounds actually alright. The bass is decent for the size of the speaker. The loudness or volume's decent for the size of the speaker. It's actually decent, full stop. So, that has been a success. Oh, I'm not going to count my chickens before they've hatched, because this isn't together yet. So before I say anything else, I'll put this all back together. The front goes on this time, unlike a certain Iowa mini boombox. Oh gosh. Okie dokie. That goes back on. And the screws are gonna be in. I'm gonna try a transition. This is gonna be epic. Ready? The screws are gonna be in. 3, 2, 1, now. Alright. Hopefully that transition went well. You can be the judges of that at home. And here we have it. The Boots MCR 765 one-touch record radio cassette player. Yeah, lovely jubbly. That's all repaired and half efforted restored. Yeah, lovely. That's done. Thank you for watching. And yeah, hope to catch you in another video. Please leave a comment, it helps massively. I like to see all the comments as well. Just about anything, any question, anything you want to ask. Yeah, anyway, see you in the next one, guys. Goodbye.